everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So we worked on this book page, and I'm just going to check that I'm in camera. I've got a few things in front of my desk that are probably going to get in my way, so I'll see how I go. When I was last filming, we put this book page together, and I've left this to dry, so I'm now ready to, as you remember, the papers didn't come all the way to the top of, well, they came all the way to the top of that page, but that page isn't the same size as it was when we started. So I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to tear these strips off. Now some of them will be glued together because I wasn't that careful about where I put the glue. So okay, and they're the little pieces that we have left. And then I'm not sure I'll be able to tear these little pieces on this side. In actual fact, I think I may have to cut it, which is going to make me sad. Oh no, here we go. You'll have to excuse the state of my fingers, my hands. I've been tea staining, so and I'm just going to snip the beginning of these ones to get them started. I don't want to tear. Okay, we did it. So I will need to re-ink the bottom at the, well, I'm calling it the front, but I haven't decided which way around I want it to go. I thought I had, and then since I videoed last, I think I've changed my mind. But we will get to that shortly. And then, and I still haven't pressed this one, so it is a bit curly. But I still have some more work to do to it, so I wasn't ready to try and flatten it. And I may have to do that with all of them, I'm thinking, is to press them better than I had under the folders. I don't think they were heavy enough to be as effective as I would like. Okay, so that is our page, and this one will go into our last signature. So I have those signatures here, and I'm just going to pop that in the last one for now. Just in there. And then, so I'm going to work from the first signature through, and I need to remember which way. So this was folding this way. I need to rescore this one. And I think I'll need to tidy up the bits at the bottom on this as well. And I'm just cheating, finding my center. And I'm just lining up that center with one of the score lines. No rhyme or reason as to which one. And I think I just went off track there. It's not easy through such a thick. I probably did it on the wrong side. So it is very thick at the bottom in particular, because remember we do have that reinforced paper strip. The bottom of it's curling, and it's curling into the groove of the scoreboard, so I'm trying to move it along and it wouldn't go. Okay, so I'm hoping, and I am getting some lifting, am I? Just a little lifting because of where the join is. So am I better off to put that in the center? Maybe I am. So I do have some lifting here, and I'm going to, I would use that if I had my fine tip. Where's my glue stick? So this little strip here, just trying to make sure it's burnished down well because it is on the fold. I'm hopeful that will hold okay. These bits don't look too bad. Okay, so that will be our center. I think I need to, if that one keeps lifting, I may end up tearing it a little bit more. I don't know, because I don't know where the join is underneath that either. So that could be a bit tricky. And I'm just going to snip this tiny piece off. It's not very long. I'm just housekeeping at the moment, taking care of all the smaller details. Okay, so I just want to add some ink. Sorry, I'm off screen. I would ink over my scoreboard, except my inker is dropping or shedding when I use it. In hindsight, if I ever use this technique again, I would probably not tear the bottom of the strips until after the glue has dried, so that I can lift and tear like I did with that last page just now. I think that will give me a much nicer finish. But it's all trial and error. I have got a little bit of tearing there. Okay, so for this one, I think I just want to have, or not just, I want to create pockets that are at the top. So I might just use my 1-inch punch, and I'm hoping I can do all 4 at once. Actually, I may be better to join my pages before I do that. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm wondering if oh. Okay, so what I'm looking for is right next to me. It's my score tape. And I think I'm just going to use that to help join I was looking at a funny angle then and I couldn't actually see the side of the page. So this has gone down crooked. And you can see how delicate that paper is. It's lifted just now when I've lifted that tape up. And I'm after my bone folder, which is buried. Okay. Looked like it was lifting in one spot there, so okay, and I'm going to lock it in, Eddie. It looks like that might take care of some of that curl just by doing that. It's almost sitting flat. Okay, so we had it folded this way. And I'm wishing I had folded it first before so that might be something to keep in mind for future pages, is to fold it before I actually seal it so it sits flat. But I think if I were to press it under a heavy book or a paper press, that would flatten out quite nicely. And so so it's about just getting a rough idea of where center is. It's about there. Oh golly, and it won't go through all of them, that's for sure. Okay, so whoops. That's one. Oh, I did make a mark. I was like, I thought it marked the paper so I could see for future reference. Whoops! Going to do that just a little bit further up. Fabulous. And then I'm going to ink. And I'm inking inside and out with these. Such a rainy, wet day today. Sorry, I just had a car drive past and you could hear the water on the road. Okay. So that is for our first signature. So for our first signature we have top loading pockets. And I'm going to pop that so you can see how that will sit inside the signature. I'm hoping that's focused for you. I will just check. I think they look really, really pretty. They're not quite as big as the pages of the signature, but I think they'll be fabulous. I really, really like them. Okay, so that's signature 1. So signature 2, we have this one, and it's already folded, so I don't need to worry about that. And I think I've already tied it up. I have. I'm just checking that the edges are reasonably tidy, so I'm going to add tape. I think I'd like side loading pockets for this one, so I'm going to tape just across the top. I need something smaller to use to tear this tape, but the ruler's working well for now. And just burnishing that down really well. And I think because of the way the last one sat when it was folded, I think I'm going to fold it and remove this score tape. And I'm hoping I can remove it from that fold. And this is one that's been pressed underneath the folders too, so perhaps, and you can see there's some unevenness there when it's folded. Not ideal, but that's because it's gone on. Okay, what can I do? Do I need to do anything? It still opens out okay. It's obviously not going to be all opened out so that it's flat once it's in the signature. I think I'm going to leave it like that actually. Do I want to tidy up that edge? No, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just wondering if I can open it out a little bit, and it's going to lift the paper, but I might be able to add more tape to this side. I think I'll do that. So sometimes things just don't work out the way you want them to the first time. So I'm going to just cut that. And I have exposed the book paper slightly there, but I'm hoping this will work okay and you won't notice. Okay, let me go. How can I do this? I wish it was the other side because it would work better for my right-handed needs. Okay, I'll just cut that. And I'm going to add a little bit of this quick dry just to that section that has lifted that probably shouldn't have. And then this is from my Cricut I think that's got it. Some things just aren't meant to be easy, are they? Okay. And it's a little on the wonky side, but that's okay. I don't think it'll be as noticeable once it's sewn into the signature either. But I will press these. I've decided it's going to be a necessity. And I'm noticing some white space here that I'd like to remove if I can. Okay, and then I'm going to do the side loading pockets, so 7, about 3.5. Oops. And so I'm going to fold that and roughly use that as my guide, I think. See if I can do this without... Yay! I got little bits everywhere. Okay. And again, inking the outside and the inside. Of those tabs. And on the other side. I was just thinking it's probably a good thing I'm videoing this because I will forget what order. I was just thinking about taking these pages out to press them, and I was like, I'm going to forget which goes in which signature. And then I remembered I'm videoing, so well, at least I hope yes, I'm still videoing. Thank goodness for videos. Okay, so that's signature number 2. So I'll just give you a quick preview. Move my bits out of the way. So in this signature we have pockets on either side. Just trying to give that a nicer crease in there. So that's one side of the page. The center. And then the other side. Oh my gosh, they're pretty. Yay. Okay. And I'm just referring to my notes so I can remember what I was doing with these. So this one here is my next signature. And with this one, I want to fold this. Now I might use my ruler. Ah. I was going to leave a little bit more space at the top than that. Okay. So, now that I've folded it, no, that's okay because I might say I can stitch or something down. It will be sewn into the signature. I'm just worried about this piece here being too thin. What to do? Kind of made that a bit fragile now. I think that'll be okay. So I'm actually going to try and tear this off because there's too much bulk already, and I figure if I cut these off I can turn those into pockets, or this one would have to be a top tuck because of the writing, but that's what I'm going to use them for. This one doesn't seem to be tearing as easily. That's okay, it's a little bit tattered, but I can add some lace or something to that to trim it off, and that will be fine. And this, I don't know why. Just want to see if I can tidy that up. I might cut it. I think that paper is very fragile and it's just not doing what I want it to do. That's it. It's like sometimes there's a knot in the fibers of the paper and you're trying to tell it to tear in one direction and the fibers are telling you that it just won't work. So you do kind of need to listen to the paper. And I found if I just cut slightly where that, well, I call it a knot, is, it will usually come good. Not always, but usually. So I'm just inking those torn edges. Okay, and then I'm going to pop tape just to close the pocket. Burnishing that down, quietly crossing my fingers that it lifts okay. And I think I'm going to have them go this way. I think that'll be fine once it's been pressed. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. If I have them go that way, we may be able to do something in the center, is what I'm thinking. Okay, so this one, moving my distractions out of your way. They accumulate really quickly, don't they? So that's one side, then opening up to the center, and I have changed the fold of that page, but that's okay. It's folding okay this way. And then that's the other side. So two really fun pockets there, and again we can decide whether we want to do something in the middle of the signature as well. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is this one, and this one I'm going to do a similar thing, but sorry, I'm just trying to decide which side I want in the center of the signature. I think I'm going to use I'm partly choosing it using this as a reference. I don't know why. I just am. Has the green. Okay, so I'm going to keep that in the center, the signature, which means I want to work on this side. And with this one, I want to create pockets similarly. So just deciding how far down I'd like them. And I'm thinking about here, about the 4.5 mark. So just leaving myself a little pencil line. And when I remember where that pencil line is, sometimes I wish I could look back at the video and go, where was that line? So I don't look silly when I can't find it. Okay. And I'm going to see if I can tear that right along. I'm hoping it's straight, guys. And then giving myself top loading pockets, and that leaves me that little strip that I can create some bottom pockets, probably for other pages or something. Whoops. So I'm going to ink across the top. Part of me is trying to decide whether I would like to do something with the back. I haven't decided on whether I'd like to or not, so I've just had a thought, but I may need to organise something before I can do that. In true me fashion, it means I have to turn the camera off and walk away and come back to it, but never mind. So that being the case, I'm not really sure I want to close that one yet. So this again, I need to, I don't know that I've scored this one either. Oops, sorry. How's your head, guys? Do you have a headache now? Well, that's interesting. It's actually closed. I've got overhang. I've tried to open it. I actually can't open it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I was opening it to try and help score it so that... Okay. Oops. I'll use this one. I did score it the wrong way. Silly me. Okay, so again, I'm going to put those on the pockets, sorry, on the outside of the signature. And I'm just doing this slowly so that I don't, hoping I don't tear any of the collage papers. Or the book paper for that matter. Okay, and I need to tidy up the bottom. I'll just pop the scoreboard out of the way. It didn't want to tear, so I'm just getting past that point. I feel like it's taking a little more than I want it to right now, but oh no, it's not too bad. Okay. I'm really just using the scissors to say this is where I want you to tear. Whoops. Just checking the other side now. This is really the only spot that okay. So I'm not going to adhere that just yet. I do want it to fold this way. Sorry, I'm just noticing some white space that I don't want white space with, so just disguising that. And because these pages don't sit all the way to the bottom of this signature, I'm not so concerned about my papers lifting. So they will be sewn in so that they're roughly halfway in like that. So I'm not necessarily worried about these edges here rubbing against the bottom of the page or the shelf or wherever they are sitting and wearing as much as I would be if the papers were full height, which kind of works in my favour. So sorry, I'm flicking and looking and I'm not really sharing with you. So that's the first page, and then the inside of the signature, and then the back of that page. I think they're gorgeous. Okay, and this is number 5 signature, and this one hasn't been rescored either. Okay, so I need to work out I think I'm going to use that in the middle, which means that it's this side here, and okay, so I need to score this one. Sorry, I have a couple of ideas of things I can do and I'm trying to work out which one I want to use for this page. very thick at the bottom because of the reinforcement that I've added. Okay, so I was using that as the middle, so that has to fold this way. Just going a little bit slowly. I'm going to rescore on this side. And I am pressing rather firmly down here because of the reinforcement. Okay. So I think with this one, I hadn't considered that that was picture back there. So that's okay. Oh, what to do, what to do, what to do. This isn't really what I had in mind, but because of the picture, I might go a ½ inch down. Yeah. Or do I just want to go from the top? Maybe an inch. I might go an inch. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is because I was just thinking if it's attached by a tiny space here and you're popping things in and out, it may lift. And I feel like, sorry, you don't even know what I'm doing. So I'm tearing similarly to the way I did one pocket. I'm going to tear at an angle, but I'm tearing down this way instead of down this way. And I was just trying to decide, and you could cut this. I kind of want the torn edge if I can. So just tearing that to the center and then coming back this way. Okay, and I could totally use that as a set of pockets, which I may do. And unfortunately I've torn in the wrong direction, so I do have some that's okay. Just tidy that up. You'll just have to bear with me, sorry. It's kind of showing the beautiful old paper though. so I don't care if it's not perfect. Okay, and I'm going to pop that away. I'm going to ink across the top. And I may have to line this one as well because I like the fact that it's blue and kind of works with the blue here, but it's a different tone and I just don't think I want it there. I'm finding that distracting for this, so I think I'll find something to pop in there. I'm just going to cut this because it's a very, very thin strip and it's not tearing easily. I may try and scooch past this bit for you. Okay. Made a mess with that one. Okay, so this is the 5th signature, and I'm not going to seal this one yet either because I'd like to do the backing, but if I pop that in the signature, it will sit in here like this, opening up to the middle. Oh, so pretty. And then this is the back of the page. Gorgeous. And there is a slight difference there with where the paper meets. As I said, it's quite old paper, and I think that's just the nature of using paper that's had some aging. We'll see if we can cover that up somehow when we embellish it. And then our last one has the little hidden pocket, so in here and in here. Now I could put little tab marks or thumb marks in there, but I've decided I'm not going to because I like the fact that they're hidden and that they're unexpected. So This one again hasn't been scored or rescored, and that's part of the reason I scored it to begin with, so it would make this part of the process easier. So I'm just going to rescore, and I am going to give a little bit more pressure down this bottom section. Okay, and then turning it over, I'm going to do it in both directions. Okay, I am noticing some white across the bottom, so I need to re-ink across the bottom. I thought I'd taken care of that, but clearly not. And I'm going to fold it this way. I'm just sort of pushing the lump that's there away with my nail to try and help it fold easier. And that has helped, so that's good. I think I'm just going to ink those. They're not overly big, those paper overhangs. And they are torn, so they kind of have a nice what's the word I'm looking for? Rustic look about them, which I'm liking. So I'm keeping them. Okay, and again with this one, I need to find something to line the inside of the pockets with. But so far, I'm really happy. Just looking for center. So this is that side with the hidden pocket here and the pocket here. So this will be adhered down here. This will be the center. Oh my gosh, so pretty. And then turning over and another little hidden pocket in here and a pocket here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to see if I can find the paper that I would like to line these pockets with, and I will turn the camera back on. I'll see you shortly, everybody. Bye.